Mourners gather after the latest mass shooting in Oregon. Police confirm 10 people were killed, including the 26-year-old gunman. Vigils are held for the 4 victims of last Sunday's deadly crash in Vaughan. The man charged of the killings makes another court appearance. Trade talks are still going on in Atlanta for the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Dairy farmers are protesting the controversial deal. Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Tanya Veneri, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. Investigators have closed the campus of an Oregon college until Monday after the latest mass shooting that left 10 people dead. Police say a lone gunman shot 9 people at Umpqua College in Roseburg before they shot him to death. It's the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. this year, and across the states, people are mourning.
I am UCC!
Residents of the city about 300 kilometers from Portland took to the streets last night in the wake of the massacre. President Barack Obama spoke of his frustration at yet another tragedy involving guns.
And I said each time we see one of these mass shootings, our thoughts and prayers are not enough.
The gunman has been identified as 26-year-old Chris Harper Mercer. Police say he was in possession of multiple weapons. The massacre has left students at Humber wondering about their own safety. Our reporter, Nick Baer, reports.
Being secure isn't always as simple as locking up. Protecting thousands of students can be challenging without a way of truly guaranteeing safety. Manager of PR and Communications Sarah Locke says Humber has several preventative measures in place in the event of a situation similar to that of the Umpqua College shooting in Oregon.
All the lockdown procedures that are outlined on the website advise people to, if it's safe to do so, to get out of the building. If it's not safe to do so, then to go into an area, lock the door, turn off the lights, stay quiet. I absolutely feel safe here at Humber.
According to a number of students, feeling safe while on campus isn't the issue. The problems arise once they walk off the premises.
Generally on campus, yes, but walking to the Queen's Plate parking lot, not most of the time.
While the general feeling across campus is that of safety, executives at Humber College admit that a shooting incident like that in Oregon is never fully preventable. Nick Baer, Humber News.
To Newmarket now, where the man accused in last weekend's deadly car crash has appeared in court for a second time. Sasha Aziz was there and has the details.
So we are at the Newmarket Courthouse, where the bail hearing for Marco Muzzo has been postponed until Monday, October 19th. Defense lawyer Brian Greenspan says they need more time to review information given to them, and at the moment, he says it's premature to see what his client is going to plead.
Marco Muzzo, the man accused in last week's deadly Vaughan crash, appeared in court today for what was supposed to be a bail hearing. Family of the accused attended the hearing with private security due to reported death threats. The bail hearing was adjourned to Monday, October 19th. Defense lawyer Brian Greenspan says they need time to review the information they've received.
Outrageous, since until this morning we hadn't received any police disclosure, any disclosure of any sort, where we can make a proper and intelligent evaluation of the circumstances surrounding this tragedy.
Protesters outside the courthouse gathered to show their support.
My children are the same age and the same. I cried, like I said, for 24 hours. I was so upset by it. I actually backed into my son's hockey net.
Muzzo is facing 18 charges, including 4 of dangerous driving causing death. Sasha Aziz, Humber News.
Hundreds of people turned out for an emotional vigil last night at Brampton's Gage Park to remember the 4 lives lost in Sunday's car crash. Candles flickered as mourners and grief-stricken members of the Neville Lake family gathered to remember 9-year-old Daniel, 5-year-old Harry, 2-year-old Millie, and their grandfather Gary Neville. A second vigil was held last night in Kleinburg near the scene of Sunday's crash. Foreign ministers participating in the Trans-Pacific Partnership talks shouldn't book their flights home just yet. The controversial trade talks are still going on today in Atlanta, Georgia. The Canadian automotive and agriculture industries are expected to be hardest hit if borders open to the member countries. But as we hear from our reporter, Charlotte Jacobs, Ontario dairy farmers are optimistic they'll come out okay.
These are just some of the 300 Holstein dairy cows on Armstrong Manor Farm. The sixth-generation family business has flourished on Canada's supply management system, a system that limits imports through high tariffs and protects the domestic industry by regulating the price of dairy products. This may be challenged by the TPP passing, which leaves the next generation of farmers questioning their future.
I like to see, the dairy industry say how it was. Making money isn't a bad thing. We're able to reinvest that money into things like cow comfort, modernizing the facilities, making better barns. Cows are comfortable, they make more milk, and that's what we want to do. If a cow's not comfortable, you get problems.
Philip says that he is optimistic if the TPP passes.
Well, if the TPP passes and we get a favorable deal with dairy, and not much effect in dairy, not a lot will change.
The question remains just how much foreign dairy will be allowed into Canada.
We're not sure, so it upsets the supply. How do we balance that? Does that take the underpinning out of our system and it's destroyed, and then we go like with the rest of the world and you get the boom and bust and problems.
Prime Minister Stephen Harper pushes for the TPP deal despite a looming election.
I'm on the fence, and if he comes through and he defends our system and we're here, then probably I'm going to have to give the nod to him because that's great. If he doesn't, then I'll probably have to go the other way.
Stephen Harper's popularity may very well change with the passing of the TPP. One thing's certain, this remains a hot-button issue for Canadian agriculture. Charlotte Morat, Humber News.
Overseas, Russian President Vladimir Putin is in Paris today to meet with French President François Hollande and leaders from Germany and Ukraine. Overnight, Russian airplanes targeted northwestern Syria for a third day. The Defense Ministry says the targets were ISIS strongholds. However, the U.S. says they've actually hit locations of Syrian opposition groups. Hurricane Joaquin is pounding the Bahamas with fierce winds and huge waves. The Category 4 storm has ripped off roofs and caused heavy flooding in parts of the islands. Officials say water levels have risen by about 2 meters. The storm has now veered north and is heading for the southeast U.S. states. States of emergency have been declared from South Carolina to New Jersey. Overseas, the haze in Indonesia seems to be growing thicker, and some residents are trying to get out before it's too late. Residents are now fleeing their homes because of the haze. The conditions are worsening because of a weather system that's making the area drier. Flight delays left people seeking refuge stranded at the airport. There are 137 forest fires contributing to the haze. Back at home, Toronto's gearing up for one of its biggest events of the year. It's the 10th anniversary of the annual night-long arts festival. Here's what some of last year's Scotiabank Nuit Blanche look like. The festival starts at sunset on Saturday and runs until sunrise. It'll feature more than 100 installations. The TTC and GO Transit are extending service. The subway will be running all night. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Christina Romaldo will have your 3-day forecast.
If you're headed out to Nuit Blanche this weekend, you might want to bundle up and maybe bring an umbrella. I'll have your full 3-day forecast after the break.
But first, our Norwegian cameraman has caught an unusual creature getting ready for its close-up. This curious moose discovered the drone while wandering through the wilderness and seems to have found it quite amusing. But it may have had enough of its 5 minutes of fame. Looks like the moose gets camera shy and makes a stage exit.